Could the woolly mammoth be returning to our lands? Find out in today's episode, where we have our special guest, Wenzel G-Strap Gordon, who is a scientist specializing in the de-extinction of woolly mammoths. Wenzel, what can you tell the people about the woolly mammoth? Will it be returning?
Science, hey? It's amazing, isn't it?
So,
this is the first I'm hearing of it, actually.
Oh, so you're not a specialist?
I'm kept in the closet with a lot of things, so...
So you're not a specialist?
Woolly mammoth, not so much.
Oh, okay.
Less hairy mammoths, sure thing. But on the serious side, though, it is actually quite scary to think that this is something that could be possible.
I know. What's crazy is that I've actually done all the research. I know I introduced you as the special guest. I've done all the research. The
bus was big and it ran over me.
The plan is to have the first woolly mammoth born in 2028. So that is 3 years from now. Now, until we have a real life woolly mammoth, we're going to need one male, one female, lived up to whatever age it is that a woolly mammoth would reproduce. I'm assuming between 10 and 15 if it's close to what elephants are. So that means that we have 2 elephants in 3 years' time, or mammoths in 3 years' time, another 10 years before they reproduce, and then we will have our first full, purely born mammoth.
Our first actually de-extincted
animal.
Baby.
Yes. Which is crazy. Now, so what they've done, and they successfully did this in the last weekend, was create woolly mammoth rats. Did you see that?
Rats from that time period?
No. That's what people thought as well. But no, it's just normal rats. But they put the woolly mammoth gene in the rats, right? So the embryo was born with mammoth genes, the woolly mammoth genes. So this rat is like super hairy and a little bit bigger than a normal rat that its parents were.
Okay, so they should just blast some of the...
Yes. So they wanted to see if it was possible, because what they plan on doing is taking elephants, African elephants, and splicing it with the woolly mammoth DNA that they have, then putting it into a female elephant, one of a larger kind, because I know that elephants, like the matriarchy of a herd is usually the biggest, so they'll probably find one of those, artificially inseminate it. It will then give birth to a very hairy elephant.
I hope so. I mean, that's the point of it.
Yeah. They'll need to do that twice, or maybe a couple times if it's not born a male and female. I think they can control that, though. I'm not sure.
I think, genetically they can.
Okay.
Because they can choose which chromosomes are going to be put in.
Okay, cool. And then they'll need to look after those ones. I don't know what the complications are of this.
I think it's interesting because now in a very brief time I'm slightly reading while you're reading. I mean, well, I guess you're reading too, but you're reading prior research while I'm currently researching, and it's actually, I think why it's scary is because it's now on big scale animals that don't really serve a purpose, because this is in essence a GMO, so a genetically modified organism where they're using an elephant base to create a extinct to be de-extincted. That's a great new word. So I think the de-extinct part is what's making it this unbelievable crazy what's the world coming to thing, where actually it's quite common in pets for your fish. I mean, pets we keep, which are fish.
Pets for your fish. Do your fish have pets?
More fish. But, so, it's actually a cool thing that they do with danios and a couple, if I'm correct, tetra species, where they've spliced their DNA with jellyfish
Why?
to get glow. Well, it first started off in like science experiments, like, can we do this?
Mhm.
Can cross species be a thing? Can characteristics of one thing be carried into something else? So what's very common? Pet store fish. So if you can breed by the hundreds, I think ethically speaking, people aren't too sad when those die. Even less so than rats, because people don't even know it's happening. Where rats, people at least know that's happening. I mean, they're not happy with it, but they know it's happening. But with these fish, they then splice the bioluminescent gene of, I can't remember the certain type of jellyfish, but a jellyfish, and splice it into the fish, so the fish then grew into, then we can see if we can pull up a picture of them, but literally bright colored fish. So these were fish that were previously very plain. If I could put it that way, they were a natural color.
Grey.
They got spliced. I mean, grey is actually quite an apt description of it. A grey, greeny shade of grey. Slightly shiny, but literally spliced them, and they're now bright. You get 3 variations that I've seen in pet stores. You get bright pink, bright green, and bright orange. Now, at first, when these came out, people thought, oh no, they're injecting the fish with a dye, pigment, which I think I wouldn't put it past, because a lot of fish are imported from Asia straight into SA. So I'm not going to say that's not something that's happened, because for all I know it has. But the legit fish are actually born that way. So it's not that they've been injected while growing and then shipped. They're 100% that's how they are, because they were made in a lab to be that way, and all their offspring continue to carry across that gene. So now they're not having to do it in the lab so much anymore, because the fish themselves are now procreating and creating these lineages. So it's definitely possible. It's it's just interesting because now it's something that doesn't exist is going to exist again.
Now, okay, so let's bring it back to the woolly mammoths. What is the purpose of doing this? Is it just so that they can do it? Because from my research, woolly mammoths were actually quite detrimental to the environment. Like, they created a lot of carbon. Maybe, obviously, nothing compared to the cows we have today. But in their time, they created a lot of destruction in the forests that they walk through, and they gave off a lot of CO2 because of their size, because of the size of their shits. They weren't great to the environment, and now with even less space, I can't see a benefit from bringing them back, besides putting them in a zoo and making them a showpiece.
I mean, I agree with that. I think this is really just science for the sake of science. We can do
Who's
it.
funding it, though?
Well, maybe this is some of the funding Elon and Trump are cutting. Because to be dead honest, as much as this is this is really just science for the sake of science, because there's no benefit to us getting a woolly mammoth back. Let's be real. It is really just going to be, oh, cool, put it in the zoo, and then we'll make more.
Yeah, like they couldn't release it into the wild because the elephants aren't going to accept it, surely. Like, they won't cohabitate.
I don't think so. At least not in the wild.
Exactly.
In captivity, they might. I guess they won't have a choice if they.
In their captivity, those are brain dead animals. Sorry, that's.
No,
I went to the zoo in Dublin, and there's no soul left in those poor animals. Like the lions, it would lie down, get up, do a circle back, lie down. Get up, do a circle back, lie down. I was like, this poor thing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it's a very dated idea. The zoos and everything. It's, all these animals that came from the plains, have territories that are hundreds of kilometers big, and now they're in a 50 square meter shed. I mean, I even saw a video. It was on TikTok. I'm pretty sure these were lions capped, part of like the South African captive lion hunting, where they bring the lions up in pens, and then they let them loose, and then some Americans come over and get some carpets, because the oak's coming in cleaning. Literally, just an African dude in his overalls with like a grass broom, not even like an actual broom, just like the grass bit, and a bucket, just sweeping shit into the bucket in the lion pen with 2 male lions. And you can very clearly see the lions were shit scared of this oak. Cannot to say that the zoos treat their animals that bad, but it's still very dated. But that's what, again, why I like my fish, because a lot of these fish live in such small waters that you can actually recreate their home in a fish tank, because they live in water that is a puddle. So you can create a puddle at home, and they're living where they're supposed to live. But back on my fish, because I found some of the colors of the GMOing.
Okay, yes.
They have actual names.
Okay.
So it's the Danios, the Tetros, and a couple bobs, tiger bobs to be specific. Now we've got the full bunch of fish. So there's red starfire, is what they call these. So that's obviously a red one. Cosmic blue. Yeah.
Blue one.
The electric green is what I like, but then I've always been a kind of electric green's always been a kind of my thing. Sunburst orange.
That would look quite nice
Lend
against
itself.
like a greeny tank.
Yeah, it would. That would look very good. Galactic purple.
Jeez, okay.
Kind of a pinky, and then obviously moonrise pink. So yeah, it's actually quite a thing, and it's very popular. I almost bought a couple just because they actually look really cool. They've even got where they've now bred where the eyes are full black.
Okay.
So they look like spooky. So when you get like the cosmic blue or the electric green, and there's just like these big black beady eyes, it looks so cool. So yeah, at least
that
GMO
reminds
fish
me,
have a purpose.
there are fish that are going viral on TikTok called the venom fish. Have you seen those?
The venom fish.
You know Venom from Marvel?
Yeah.
So they've got white stripes here that look like his face. And they glow in the dark. Are those GMOs?
No, those just live very, 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 very far to the bottom of the ocean. So that's kind of like their lure. So there's everyone knows the anglerfish, the one with the little dookie.
No, because let me tell you why. Everyone thinks the
Why?
anglerfish is like this. Even me, I thought it was like this. It is this big. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Even that photo of the one swimming up to the surface, that video, and then you see the second shot where the diver is right behind it, and it's like this big. It's like, what? I was actually terrified of this fish growing up because I thought it was a massive thing.
The sea monster's gonna come eat your toes. I think that shows you the power of perspective. Anything can be made to look massive
If you shave it right.
Exactly. That's like one of those things all those motivational speakers always say. It's all about perspective. Your small issue right now is actually nothing in the greater scheme of things.
Your
of
big
your
issue.
life.
Your big issue.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Your big issue now There's actually nothing in the grand scheme of your life. Just keep working at it and you'll get there. Or you'll go bankrupt. It's okay. No, man.
Okay. So, last
Bring
thing.
me back in.
Woolly Mammoth returning 2028. Officially, maybe 10 years from now. Is it a good thing? Yes or no? Scientist Wenzel.
I say it's a good thing because I want a dodo bird as a pet.
That would actually be pretty cool.
Exactly. Give me a dodo bird, damn it.
But isn't that just like a big
pet
chicken?
velociraptor. This is the start of Jurassic Park. Oh no. Which island do you think they're going to do this on? Because someone's going to 100% Jurassic Park.
It's got to be
sure.
tropical. I'm thinking like Belize or something.
Well, for dinosaurs maybe, but a woolly mammoth comes from the cold.
Oh, the woolly mammoth.
North America, Canada.
That's going in Nepal.
Ew. And wait, okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, no, okay, then that tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks. I would go like maybe Alaska. Or
No, that's too. That's
something.
when they were around. They were in grassy lands. I know it was called the Ice Age, but it wasn't all
There's
ice.
grass in Alaska and Canada.
No,
Just
they were.
it snows over sometimes.
Yes, they could handle the snow, but they preferred
It's the
grass
same as the bison.
because they can eat grass.
Even
Yeah,
though
it's the
bison
same
are
as the
still
bison.
around.
What about the summer? What does the bison do?
The sheds.
Woolly mammoth does the same.
Exactly. It's like Canada, Alaska. Works out. It tracks.
I think Nepal is
North
colder.
America. Oh, yeah, exactly. It's colder.
I don't know, I'm just like thinking out
exactly.
loud. Oh, sorry. I just choked there on my own spit. Speaking of choking.
Hot segue that. Yeah, speaking of choking, our beloved flower team, the Proteas,
Number one in the
were
world
looking-
for a hot second.
for a hot second, and they were looking hot too. I mean, they cruised through their pool games. The hard game, Australia, got rained out,
Okay.
which I think maybe gave us a bit of confidence. Like shit, we dodged a bullet, because that was always going to be the tough game. Because shame poor England. 0 out of 3. Eesh.
Well, that's what happens when you don't have a number one in the world playing in your team.
To Terrence's one hater.
Yeah.
Suck it. Even though we have to suck it now because we choked in another semi-final. But not David Miller. He's a man. He
So
never
why
backs down
does
from
South
the
Africa
semi-final.
always choke?
I don't know. Because we have people in that team that have won at that level. Maybe at a junior level, but at that international World Cup level. I mean,
But even like
Right.
RPL, they've won.
yeah, so they know how to win. So, I mean, if you want to be a superstitious person, you can say someone put some bad juju on us.
Yeah, his name is Hansi.
Oh, shame. That's still too soon, boss. That's still too soon. He came clean, boss. It's not like those other guys just more recently that didn't come clean and are banned. I won't mention names.
What
but
was that?
3 of them played for the Lions.
Who was that player for Australia that had the sandpaper?
Oh, Bancroft.
Mm-mm.
Bancroft?
He doesn't play anymore. Didn't he get...
Yeah, Bancroft. Warner and Smith were captain, vice captain.
Yes.
They both served ban because they were obviously like in charge of it. But I'm pretty sure it was Bancroft. Who's the one with the...
Yeah, I was thinking about
In
the
his
other
pocket
day.
trying to hand it.
He was like a newbie to the team.
Exactly. How soccer is that? You get thrown heavy under the bus. Hey, we need you to bring in some sandpaper. Everyone does it. Don't worry. It'll be okay. No one will know. Just don't obviously put it into your pocket for everyone to see after you scratch the ball. I
Wait,
mean,
everyone does it?
Oh, was I not supposed to tell everyone? Oh, shit. No, I'm kidding. No, smart teams just do it by being cognizant of fielding every time you grab the ball, and if they're taking an easy 2, you have enough time to just quickly change the seam of the ball so that you feel the shiny side up, and then when you're throwing it in, you're going with a more relaxed sidearm throw so that it bounces rough side.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's the normal way to scuff up the ball.
Yeah.
I thought you saying like all international teams bring out sandpaper in sneaky ways, because I'm pretty sure they would have been caught.
Yeah, no, exactly. They would have been caught. Sorry, no, I mean all teams.
But you know those finger straps, generally in test matches when they obviously injure a finger. Could you not sneak some on the inside, and then when you?
I wouldn't even worry about sneaking in super glue. I'd just get it wet enough. Well, I mean, it will get wet enough with all the sweat. Where I don't know if you've ever had fingers taped, but
no, I have strong fingers.
Hold on, it's the ball hard enough. All the adhesive kind of starts clumping on the underside. Just bloody put the adhesive on the ball, man. That should rip and grip like you never seen it. Don't worry about bloody sandpaper.
Okay, so give us a play-by-play of the game. Did you watch it?
Play-by-play is everyone choked except for Dave Miller because he's a man.
Did we bat second?
And yeah, we batted second. New Zealand posted a pretty fucking good score. It was 365. If I remember correctly. I could be slightly wrong, but let me double check because now I feel bad. But I'm pretty sure it's 365.
362.
362 for 6. Which is a pretty banging score. Even in a 50 over game. That's.
Oh, we got 312. That's pretty good.
So it's definitely a batting wicket.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 teams scoring over 300. So definitely a batting wicket. But still, 362, they slapped us around. I mean, also I got to give it to this New Zealand batter, Rachin Ravindra.
108.
Man has been in form. He's been scoring runs left, right and centre all over the place. And then...
I'm sorry, Temba got 56?
Oh, Temba Bavuma, my man. Finally. But yeah, shame. Dave Miller, he got to his 100.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if New Zealand were like, oh, shame. Like, give it to the man. Because it was literally off like the last ball of the innings.
Okay.
Where he literally, I think he hits a single down the ground. Or, I mean, he tries to. It was well bowled, but he tries to get under it. Gets a safe single to get to his 100. I was like, damn. He put in the all hard yards, and I will give it to Dave Miller. He always pulls it out. Durban boy.
He just needs someone
else.
else.
He went to college.
He needs someone else with him.
He did.
Like,
he did. I mean,
I think if Quinny was playing, was he playing? No, he's retired. Eh?
Quinny retired. He's
younger than David Miller. he's younger than us. He's retired.
Quinny retired to go fishing more often.
I know.
It's not even Quinny D. So, but
he did make
Rickleton
a ton of money in the RPL.
He's making a ton of money in the RPL.
He's still playing RPL.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
He retired from international.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, he's still playing the T20 leagues. He just stopped playing.
Oh, that's why I saw like on TikTok. I saw a highlight.
He was in the SA20. Yeah, he was in the SA20. Like that just happened.
Okay.
So no, he's still playing. He's still gonna pay for his fishing trips. I don't know. Like I played against Quinny back in school. Don't kill me, Quinny. But
we know. You've mentioned it many times on this podcast.
Shut your face. But yeah, so sorry to say, but the monkey is still on our back. So I'm pretty sure every South African is now going, come on, New Zealand. Although there is a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
There is a bit of controversy around this.
Yes.
Because initially, South Africa thought they were going to be playing in Dubai.
Okay.
Initially. The team finishes their match, they all go to Dubai. Because they think they're playing there. They then find out, oh no, we are not. They then have to fly to Pakistan same day, play this match against New Zealand.
They flew on the same day.
Yeah.
They didn't even get a
morning.
warm-up on the field or anything.
No, I'm pretty sure they would have got a warm-up, but the idea of so the day before you flew to Dubai, mentally preparing, we're going to play in Dubai. Then
Is
in the
Dubai
morning,
hotter than
wake up
Pakistan?
early. No, but it's different conditions, like different pitch.
I know that. Yeah, I assume the Dubai pitch
But
would be
I mean,
immaculate.
probably more of a. Actually, no. What was the the Australia-India game? Because that was played in Dubai, but
Ooh,
so it's
India
controversial. Yeah, India did win. Well done, India. So it's controversial where people were saying, oh no, it's favoritism to India. But there's still a lot of bad blood between India and Pakistan.
Yes.
Which is why India couldn't play in Pakistan.
Okay.
At least these are the things we're hearing.
Yeah.
The talk of the town, as one would have it, is favoritism because India get to choose where they're playing, even though they don't necessarily get to choose. It's more of a safety aspect.
Yeah.
But it's still one of those things where it's like, ooh, favoritism.
Yeah, but I mean, India does bring in more money to cricket than any other country, so...
Yeah, so at the same time, we got to back down a little bit and be like, okay.
But the stadium looks really nice in Dubai.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'd love to go there.
I'm pretty sure that's where the final is going to be because India's in the final.
Okay.
So they're not going to be in Pakistan, that's for sure. At least I don't think so. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very good match. I really want New Zealand to win.
They should.
But India's looking good.
New Zealand's above of India at the moment in the rankings.
Yeah, but I mean, rankings don't mean that much in this kind of a scenario.
Okay, so South Africa choked. Who's to blame? Because it looks like the top four did good.
I think it was more the bowling this time around.
Okay.
To let, as much as it might have been a batting track, to let a team get to 362 for 6, the bowling team let them down.
Yeah, let's have a look. New Zealand. So 200s for them and 2 almost 50s. Aidan Markram went for 23 or 4 overs. Keshav went for 65. Ngidi 72. Rabada 70. The worst by economy is Vian Mulder, 48 or 6 overs. Who is Marco Jansen? Where's he from?
So Marco Jansen, he's been around for a little bit now, but he is this tall, skinny, lanky lefty.
Okay.
Usually quite handy, but today just didn't hit the straps. Vian Mulder, I can't say I've ever been a big fan of Vian Mulder. He's kind of a runs in stock of the mill, up and down seamers.
Why did Nokia not
I'd
play?
place him, but injured. He's out for he's been out for the whole season.
So if you replaced him with Marco, would we have done better?
I think Marco would have still played.
Replace
Marco
him.
wouldn't have.
Who's a better batsman?
Marco by a long shot. Marco's playing as like an all-rounder almost these days. His batting
And
is
he
actually
opened the bowling.
fair, and he opens the bowling now. So he comes in the tail, but he is a bit more of an all-rounder. But then again, the thing with New Zealand is their spinners actually got us,
Okay.
where our spinners kind of got slapped around.
I'll tell you what it is. The economy on New Zealand side is on average 6, where ours on average was 7. That's the difference. We had less bowlers, so never mind. They bowled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different bowlers.
I mean, and their captain, Mitch Santner, always been a fan of his bowling. Left arm, really smart, really aggressive, kind of like a...
He bowls like me.
Harp back to a Dan Vittori, okay, or a Terence Schroeder. but I mean, even in his economy, it shows. I mean, economy of 4.3. That's just fantastic. In such a high-scoring game, you coming out going at 4.3. Oh.
Did we get 8 wickets?
6.
6 wickets.
And they were all... I mean, they weren't too bad. Our first wicket, so for us at least, there weren't too many clusters of wickets. First was at 20 runs, then 125. Okay, then there was a cluster, 161, 167. So that's not too good. Then 189, 200.
Yeah, it's not great for a semi-final.
212, 218, and then 256. So KG put in a shift at the end, but yeah, not a good day to be a Protea. Not a good day.
One day,
but I mean,
one day we'll get there.
As much as this oak was blowing ripe offies like I used to, he still took 2 wickets. Glenn Phillips.
I think
he got Keshav Maharaj with a massive down leg side.
Did he come down the track?
Kesh just left it. No, it was going so far down leg that Kesh almost played it backwards, and he gloved it straight into the keeper's hands.
Oh,
like if he just shot, free run and an extra ball to try and slog. But in a high pressure situation, you think I need to take advantage of a bad ball, and then you don't, and you glove it to the keeper.
In all honesty, if we had played in Dubai, do you think it would have made a difference?
I don't think so. Look, not to make excuses, but it is a little bit hard mentally to go into a game when you're there, you're ready. Because at this level, a lot of the guys probably have rituals, which are day long. They've the night before gone. They're visualizing the stadium. They're visualizing who they're playing, where they're playing. And then at some time that night, you're told, oh shit, listen, change your plans. We're going to wake up early tomorrow to catch your first flight out. You're already like, oh shit. The best, get over it. Some people don't always bounce back from that quickly. Some people will be shook from it. Some people they might not express it, but deep down they're going, oh, this is shit, this is unfair. Why are we doing this? Why is this happening to us? I mean, we're really picking at straws here.
So do you know what it is?
Coming up with excuses. Tell me.
The South African players, Cricket SA does not pay the South African players enough. I think if they were paid more, they would feel more responsible for a result, a positive result, and they wouldn't choke. If they were told, you guys win the final, you get a bonus of R1 million each.
I mean, sad to say it, but money motivates. Money motivates. It does.
Also, do you know how much money? Do you know how much money India spends on development, like from first grade? They pay them
can't say happy
they pay
name.
them ridiculous amounts in order to motivate them to get better, blah blah blah, to get up to RPL level, to get into the Indian team.
But I mean, let's be honest, cricket is India.
Yes.
Like, okay, hockey is actually quite big in India too.
Yeah.
But cricket is, I mean, Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni, they are
Yeah.
gods.
But this is why Dubai or UAE is getting better, because they're paying for their players. This is why the US has actually got a competitive team now. Because they bought all their actually they've had to deport all of their players, so never mind.
Yeah. You gotta take that back. They
deported their whole cricket team.
They revoked their green cards. But did you see that you can buy a green card now? Did we talk about that last time?
No, we
I can't
didn't.
remember.
No, that's...
You can buy... okay, you need $5 million.
Yeah, but do you know who that's for? It's for Elon Musk to buy it.
It's a bit late now. He probably bought one for his bloody whole family. And all their friends. But yeah, no, that's a scary thing. And then Trump's reasoning is simply... They're going to bring... more to the economy. They're going to bring money.
Rich people into the
They're
country.
going to bring business. But it's going to be like every other rich person. They're just going to invest in stocks and not bring any jobs. They're just going to let their money talk.
The GDP is going to go up in the country, but it's going to be the same situation as Ireland. Ireland is the world's second richest country by GDP. But if you live in Ireland, you can see that is nowhere near true, because Ireland is a tax haven. So for tech businesses. So Google headquarters is here, Apple headquarters is here, all of these Microsoft, etc., are all in Dublin, transacting millions through there. But the money goes in to the company and then goes across to America, the owners, blah, blah, blah. So Ireland doesn't see that, because obviously they don't pay tax, so it doesn't go into the country at all. Yeah. But the GDP shows us as the second richest country outside of Luxembourg.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that's the same thing that's going to happen to America. It's going to be poverty,
Yeah,
but
it's going to be a bragging right.
Yeah.
We have the highest, whatever that abbreviation is, then GDP. We have the highest GDP, or we are top 5 GDP in the world. But like everyone still has to die, rather than actually receive medical care.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper to die.
It's cheaper to just die.
Yeah.
We have to say a different word. We're going to demonetize.
Demonetize. We don't
Cheaper to take a dirt nap.
take a dirt nap.
Well, we need to get monetized first, and then we can get demonetized.
Exactly. Yes.
It's cheaper to take a dirt nap than to get fixed. And then if you do get fixed, you got to spend your life paying it off. Imagine. Ridiculous.
Real life TikTok that I saw. A man got a medical bill for a emergency ambulance to the hospital.
Saw the same one.
And
Tell me about it.
He phoned them and told them that he had insurance, then they told him his new price, and his price actually went up because he had insurance.
It didn't just go up. You're missing the point here.
Okay. Go on. Tell me what I already know. Tell the people at home.
You're being like me and you're telling a story badly.
Okay.
Oh, my hair looks terrible. Oh, I'm a fashionista now. But so his original bill was like $600.
Yes.
If you paid cash, blah blah blah. And then they found out he had insurance, back and forth as you say. Then his bill that he had to pay came up to, what was it, $800 or $1,200?
$1,300.
$1,300 is what he had to pay.
Yes.
Because his total bill actually went up to $2,700, but the Medicare or whatever plan he
Only
had
paid 1,000.
only paid 1,000 some change.
And they
How much of a scam is this?
Because they thought he didn't have insurance. They gave him a discount, which took it down to 600.
Yeah. So how much money are they actually making? Like, it's a scam.
Okay, but here's the thing, right?
If they can afford,
no, it is
to
a
do the
scam.
600.
It is a scam. But here's the thing: you can't blame the hospital because they were nice enough to give them a discount. The problem is that the insurance doesn't cover the actual price. So if the insurance, like, I'm sure the bill is, let's say, 2,000, but because you have insurance, you don't have to pay for the hospital fees and for whatever care you get. You probably still do in America. So
Yeah, they still do.
their thinking is, okay, if someone doesn't have insurance, they're going to have this massive hospital bill. So let's give them a discount on the ambulance to be nice. But then it's like, oh, you do have insurance. Okay, well, there's the full bill. And then your insurance doesn't cover it. Sorry. So
Yeah, no, it's...
I thought it was
mental.
more crazy that he couldn't go back. He couldn't be like, can I just go pay the amount without the insurance? Just pretend I don't have it.
Yeah. Sorry, sir, but you're not eligible for that anymore because you have insurance. Oh, bro. But yeah, no, it's mental. It's even... So it's almost, I want to say, not quite the opposite, but in SA, there's a really, really big medical aid. It's kind of like that one TV channel. I'm not going to say the name because you're not going to sue us. They don't play games. But they are, because they have such a high percentage of medical aids patients in South Africa.
Yes, I think it was somewhere like 65%.
Yeah. That they literally bully, so they bully the doctors, one. So if you don't script enough generics or enough of the medications they are paying for, so there could be 4 generics, and they've chosen 2 to cover, or they've chosen 2 as their primary. If the doctors aren't scripting enough of those 2, for example, they get removed from Discovery, and they don't get bonuses because they actually get bonuses. They get fudge, beep that out. Oh fuck, they're probably not watching this. Anyway, until we blow up and then we're screwed. But so then so doctors get a bonus, a year-end bonus if they meet. Like they scripted enough of this, they did enough of that, they saw this many patients. They actually get like a kickback, an incentive. And if they don't meet it, they don't get the incentive and they risk getting kicked off. Same with pharmacies. If the pharmacies don't sell enough of what Discovery wants them to sell, they get removed from Discovery and Discovery doesn't pay out anything to them. Then Discovery bullies the pharmaceutical companies too, saying, we don't like your product, make it this price, or we're just not covering it at all. Shame.
Is it the same?
So it's because...
Sorry, I was going to say, is it the same? Discovery is the same company that owns the TV channel and the bank.
Probably, yeah. And car insurance and life insurance and...
Yes.
And so much more. So yeah, they literally have too much power. They actually control everything in the private sector. If we're dead honest, it's frightening.
Yeah. Here they have a couple of insurance companies for like medical aid insurance, but there's a private hospital in town which is for the elderly, so it's nothing. Then the only other private hospital is in Dublin, and I think there's one in Galway. Other than that, they have the public hospitals, which if you have medical aid, you can like skip queues and all of that kind of stuff. But it's really efficient. Like we didn't Justine has to have medical aid because of her visa, but the kids don't because they're free, like doctor's visits and stuff. I don't have medical aid because the hospital, you pay for the ambulance to get you there. You don't pay for anything else in the hospital. And the wait times are bad, but they prioritize the seriousness of your issue. So like if
if you got a rash, they're going to be like, you can wait.
Yeah.
But if your leg's broken and bleeding out, you're like, get in there.
Yeah. So my daughter had an asthma attack when we first got here. I think it was the first year. We thought it was croup. The ambulance sorted her out. She was fine. But because we called the ambulance, they don't get paid if they don't deliver to the hospital. So they're like, we have to take her to the hospital to go get checked. They told us she's fine, but we have to take her. So like I figured it's because that's how they get paid. Anyway, so took her to the hospital, which was an hour away. Then because she was fine, they said go to the waiting room, and we were in the waiting room we got there 11 o'clock at night. We were in the waiting room until 1:30 or 2. Maybe it was a bit later. We then went and saw the doctor at just after 2 o'clock, and then we saw the doctor for like 5 minutes. She gave my daughter a steroid and said, okay, you're fine to go. So now we an hour away at a hospital, no transport, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, or just before 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, I phone Justine and I say, okay, we're done. You can come fetch us now. My daughter hasn't slept the whole time. You can come fetch us now. So Justine has to then wake up my son at 4 o'clock in the morning, drive an hour to fetch us in the dark, pick us up, and then I drove us back home. So it was a whole ordeal. It wasn't fun, but we only had to pay for the ambulance. Like usually you would have to pay for the visit, the steroid, etc., etc. We didn't have to do any of that.
See, you just can't do that in SA because everything's so decrepit and run down.
Yeah, you don't want to go to a public hospital.
But you know what's even more frustrating is now, which I think is funny, especially in KZN, because KZN is one of the biggest problems. It's an ANC-led government with ANC-led members in all the different positions. There was something like, so it's always this really weird cat and mouse where people are being cucked on for spending too much money on one hand. So, oh shit, you're spending too much money. Cut costs. Don't spend so much money. Don't improve anything. Now there's a complete 180 where there's something like a 70, which is the big one. Trillion is bigger than billion, right? There's a 70 billion rand underspend. So it boggles my mind. So firstly, government is crying about not having enough money. They can't do anything because they don't have money. They're threatening to cut 19,000 government teaching positions in KZN alone. Jeez. 19,000. And then on the very next news bulletin, underspend of 70 billion in KZN, and they need to go round up these ministers to see why are things not being spent, why is service delivery not being met when you are returning 70 billion to treasury that was allocated to you, when there's all these hospitals that are completely dilapidated and run down, and every my brief stints in the hospitals, every time you go to finance, oh no, we don't have the budget. Oh no, we can't do that, there's no budget. Meanwhile, the 70 billion being sent back to treasury because it wasn't spent. It's because it's like this weird balance of they don't want to spend money because it looks good for them on their CV, like hey, I saved the hospital this much, because no one's coming to the hospital to check that it's actually falling apart because there's no maintenance being done. Okay, that's just one example. The roads not being fixed, sanitation not being upkept, public schools not having toilets. I mean, how is that a thing? Like in this day
Pumping
and age?
sewage into the river, Guinea River.
Pumping sewage into the river. The rivers that are now flooding because the banks were never kept and the drainage was never kept, and
Which river is flooding?
a whole bunch. It's all over the country. We are having, it's not quite as severe flooding. That happened, what was it, 2-3 years ago? But it is quite bad flooding. Especially on the north coast. Springfield Park here in Durban, also getting flooded. My one doctor that I see for work, for real work, and this is work too, one day, but like his room's completely flooded to where the water was above his chairs. Like, okay, he does have the practice is in a bit of like a weird below road level kind of house. Like there's the main road, his road, with his property is, it's literally right on Mgeni Road. If you remember the mosque on the corner with the seafood shop, you get past Macro. No, you're frozen and just sitting really still.
Have you seen Love is Blind, the latest season?
I refuse to watch Love is Blind. Or any of those sorts of things, but my wife loves it. Like,
Has she watched?
no, I don't think she's watched that. She's too engrossed in Riverdale at the moment.
Oh, I've also watched Riverdale.
I
Are you watching it?
I catch it now and then, but then again, I want to speak. I watch anime, so it's not like I have room to speak about weird and bouncing back and forth. But the whole, like, the one season they have power, or one part of the season they have powers and they're like superheroes. Then they're teenagers again and back in time. I'm just like,
So, Riverdale, I think it was
it's based on
season
comics.
1 and 2 were really good. And I was like, yes, I love this show. Then it just fell off a cliff.
Like, it supposedly follows the Archie comics or something like that, but who read those comics?
Yeah.
Those are the boring comics, man. Reading about a person who himself is making comics in the comic. Like, what?
Yeah. No, it was good. I watched the first couple were great, and then it just fell off and it was boring. And they went to like Riverdane or whatever.
Rivervale.
The other universe. Rivervale.
Rivervale.
I was like, oh, and it just was boring from there. I was like, geez, I'm a fan of Cole Sprouse, but even this, I was like, dude, come on.
Yeah. But then
It's just the same thing, like every episode.
So are you watching Love is Blind?
I'm watching Love is Blind. This is actually the first season of Love is Blind that I've seen. And it's season 8. Apparently it's the most. Apparently it's the most boring season. I don't know. It has been quite entertaining, but also irritating. Like,
explain the show.
you want to
me,
keep
'cause
watching.
I don't actually know.
Right. So, a bunch of people from a town where everyone knows everyone. It's not supposed to, but anyway, this specific season, everyone knows everyone. You know, you get 12 guys and 12 girls, and they do a speed dating thing, except it's in a pod and you can't see the other person. So, a guy and a girl, you go on a date, but there's a wall between you.
Yeah.
So you can only talk. And then, obviously, they swap and they date everyone, but then they write down who they're most attracted to, blah, blah, blah. And then as the season goes on, they only date with that person. And the goal is for one of them to propose to each other. And if they propose and the other person says yes, they then go on a honeymoon or a pre-marriage vacation. So they all went to Honduras. There was like 5 couples that got engaged. And then they get married in like 3 weeks' time. So it's literally...
It's not just 90 Day Fiancé. It's the dating
It's 90 Day
blindly
Fiancé
first.
with... Yeah.
Oh, so it's 90 Day Fiancé with dating. But the caveat is that you're dating someone you can't see.
You're dating someone you can't see. You get engaged. Then you see each other. You go and you live together, blah, blah, blah. And then you get married. But the marriage stage is where they decide if they're going to stay together or not. And tomorrow, the final episode is coming out where we'll find out if they all said yes or they all said no. Apparently, they're all going to say no, which is completely twisted to what the story's been building up to, them all saying yes. You can kind of get hints, like the way that Netflix edits it and makes it seem like things aren't the way that they are. But like you can kind of see like, oh, okay, she doesn't actually find what he said good, but they're playing happy music, so they want you to believe that she's happy. And apparently they all say no. That's the twist. Anyway, the one guy who's got engaged, apparently he had a girlfriend before going on the show, like a full-on relationship. He told his girlfriend that he was going on vacation. He went to another plant and got engaged.
Wow.
Another guy is deeply in love with his sister.
Like his own sister.
His own sister. Like everything he says is, my sister wouldn't like this. My sister would like this. I need to speak to my sister about this. My sister is not happy about this.
Bloody
And
hell.
his sister doesn't want to come onto the thing. And it's probably because he's using her as like a scapegoat.
It's a
and she doesn't
scapegoat.
actually say this.
Yeah, it's a scapegoat, and it's 100% when someone is completely reliant on another person. Like that's their pillar of their personality. It's like, I am not who I am without you.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So he's like, it's a whole lot of drama, and if anyone is still watching it this time, they would know what I'm going through, and they're letting us know in the comments. But the reason I bring it up is that apparently everyone knows everyone. Like, it's going around TikTok because this was filmed a year ago, and everyone in Minneapolis, which is where it was filmed this time, knows like each other. So if someone talks about someone, everyone knows about it. So everyone on TikTok is saying, oh, well, we know they're not married because he's been sleeping with my sister or my friend last week. It's like, oh, okay, so there's actual like there's actual drama going on here. So tomorrow we find out if people say yes or no, and I'll let you know how it goes. But give it a watch. It's on Netflix. You can watch. It's like 6 episodes.
Yeah, Netflix, drop us a... Also, the new season of Drive to Survive. I haven't started watching, but it's out.
That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow.
Oh, sorry, yes, that was the coming soon.
Yes.
I need to finish last season now. That reminds me.
And did you watch Daredevil?
And Wolverine.
No.
Daredevil. Oh, so Daredevil. No, I haven't watched Daredevil. Is that coming out?
Oh, the first 2 episodes dropped yesterday.
Ooh, something now. Have you watched it?
Yes.
And it's good.
It's very good.
Okay, cool.
Did you watch the previous series?
The previous Daredevil series? No. Should I watch that first?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a continuation of that.
Oh, so that's quite a gap.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'll pick it up.
They haven't put a gap in it. They've put a couple years in as a gap, but because I'm not going to spoil anything, but you remember in the series Echo and Hawkeye, Wilson Fisk was there, or Kingpin, and he got beat up by Echo, Maya. the deaf vigilante. I think he got shot in the eye. That was the ending. She pulled the trigger and he fell over. He survived.
Oh, miraculous.
But he's been out of it for a while. And I think I'm just going to spitball and say maybe 5 years. So Daredevil stopped at that time as well. And then this is both of them coming back. This is what this is. So Wilson Fisk, and this is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. Wilson Fisk gets elected as mayor of New York, and it kicks off from there. He mentions Spider-Man. He mentions Punisher. So this is full on MCU.
That's going to be super cool if they actually get that going.
I hope they bring Tom Holland. Just like one cameo, because he cameoed in Spider-Man. So
yeah, as his lawyer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rachel didn't get it when the whole him catching the brick and everything. Because she doesn't know who Daredevil is. So it was just blank. I'm like, oh, and she was just like, oh, cool, another superhero. I was like, he's blind. How did it? Anyway,
he's blind and he reacted faster than Spider-Man, whose spidey senses can react at the speed of sound, apparently. Or 10 times the speed of sound. I don't know. Anyway, Vincent, where can someone find you if they made it this far?
If they made it this far, they'll probably find me in bed. It's where I belong. But otherwise, find me on Instagram, Vince_Gordon. And better yet, you gotta go find the Global Buggers pod on TikTok. And we might post something. Maybe not. I don't know.
We need to if we want to get some more followers.
Terrence, where can people find you?
Scarlet on everything. Scarlet_on everything. That should get you to where you need to. There are new videos dropping every week on YouTube. I go live on TikTok on Fridays and do some DJing. It's a lot of fun. But make sure you follow this podcast, leave a like, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.